Welcome to Deep in the Sauce, brought to you by Big Butz Barbecue Sauce, Butz in the Woods, and me, your host, Tom Porter. This is episode 3 of Deep in the Sauce, and, well, it's just got over the holidays. Y'all were probably busy cooking up a storm, probably even busier baking up a storm. Well, in the lines of baking, I had an interesting idea about, a month ago now. Now, I have put barbecue sauce in or on just about everything in some way, shape, or form. But someone said, "What's your best cookie recipe?" And that got me to thinking. Now, I am not the baker in our house by any means at all. When it comes to cookies, cakes, everything like that, my wife has got me beat hands down. But when I told her I wanted to make a barbecue cookie, she went, "Good luck." So that left it in my hands. So I wanted to come up with something that I thought would blend well with the sauce, and I think I've managed to do that. But I also wanted to make it a little bit more special. Now, in a barbecue cookie, you can't just have chocolate chips or nuts. Well, maybe nuts, but you gotta throw a little something extra in. So then it hit me. I'm going to throw in some pig candy. Now, for those of you who don't know what pig candy is basically bacon that's been coated with a rub, maybe a sauce, that's highly full of sugar. So when it's all done slow cooking or smoking, it's going to have nice, sweet, candy-like flavors and a good saltiness to it. So let's get started now with the Big Butz Cookie recipe, and we're going to start making the pig candy for our cookies. We got a pan up, nice little cookie sheet. I preheated my oven to 375 degrees. Now, earlier today, I went to a local meat place called Crispin's in Spooner, Wisconsin here, and got some double smoked bacon. And I have them cut it nice and thick. Now, the reason why I got double smoked is because I'm going to be doing this in the oven. Okay, now we got all of our double smoked bacon laid out here. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up our rub. Now, the rub that we're going to be coating this bacon with is 1 cup brown sugar and a 1/4 cup of dark chili powder and a 1/4 cup of kosher salt. I'll pour that all together here. Grab a fork. And we're just going to mix it up here. Get her nice and blended. The nice thing about the dark chili powder is it really does let you see when it's pretty even through the whole mixture here. Now, I'd say this is pretty well mixed up here. As you can tell, the sugar's gotten a lot darker with that chili powder being mixed in there. Alright, go deep a little bit. Alright, so now we're going to come over to our bacon, and I am liberally going to coat this, making sure to get as much as possible. Still quite a bit left over. You can store it, save it, use it for something else. I'm just going to take this, throw it in the oven, and I usually go about 20 minutes on this, but you want to keep an eye on it. You want your bacon cooked, but you don't want it to start turning black and nasty or anything like that. So we're going to set it in there, let it cook down, and then we'll be good to go. Alright, it's only been maybe a little over 15 minutes here, but to me, it looks like it's cooked pretty good through. Now, as you can see, it's got a nice dark coating on it. And it's still pretty liquid for the most part. But you're going to want to take it out and get it off of this pan before it starts to harden up too much. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do it. Plus, I really don't like the smell of burning sugar myself. So, just going to take these out and lay them up here. And as they sit and dry up here, See all that wonderful grease coming off there. As they sit up here and dry, we're actually probably going to have to transfer them over at least one more time onto a different sheet of paper towels. And they'll stiffen up as that grease comes off of them here. And while those are drying out a bit, we'll go ahead and get ready to mix up our batter for our cookies. First thing I'm going to do is mix up the wet ingredients. And in this case, that consists of butter and sugar. Now for this recipe, I'm going with 15 tablespoons of butter. Now to make it easier for people, just think of it this way. You take 2 sticks of butter, cut a tablespoon off of one of them, and the rest goes in the bowl. Got this one in. Now this butter has been sitting out for room temperature. There's some nice butter that Burnett Dairy makes around here. Some good stuff. I'm just going to quick mix this around and cream it up a bit. It needs to be creamy or it won't work with the dry ingredients. Alright. So that's pretty good. So we're going to take now a half cup of powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar and toss that in there as well. We're going to mix that in. There, that's looking good. See, nice creaminess, almost like a frosting looking kind of texture. Alright, and then we're going to add to our wet mixture also our barbecue sauce because it's wet. So you can do this with any of our barbecue sauces, but I've decided to go with the cranberry this time just because, well, you know, it's sweeter. Cookies are supposed to be sweet even when they're made with barbecue sauce and pig candy. So to this, we're then going to add 3 tablespoons of the barbecue sauce. There's 3 good sized tablespoons. There might be some in there, and we'll just use our little butter knife to scrape out every little last good morsel in there. Alright. Now we're going to just continue to mix that in. And it'll take on this kind of, oh, it's almost an orangish reddish color. Now we'll start with our dry ingredients. Alright. We're starting off with 1.25 cups of all-purpose flour. That's a level measurement, so you can just scoop it in the bag and scrape her off with a knife. To that, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of white cornmeal, and then a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Now, I want the cornstarch and cornmeal because, well, the cornmeal, who doesn't love a good cornbread biscuit with their barbecue? But I also want that nice buttery taste to it too. So that's why we tossed in the cornstarch. Alright, so mix that around a bit. And to this also, I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of regular table salt.